different things that I have gone through that has helped me and has also helped others, and I want to make sure that we are all supporting each other. And if it was wrong, they find another way to justify why they did it. And they will do it in a way to manipulate you to side with them today. Right now, today, what I need you to do is focus on how I can validate my own damn self without me feeling like I need to find someone else to do that validation for me. That's what, yes, champion, when I say love yourself again, you may have never even explored it.
It's very, very, very powerful is that there is no love without forgiveness, and there is no forgiveness without love. You need to understand specifically.
I am here today to give you guys some quick tips on how to be single parents and or to be an awesome absent parent. This is important. The reason why is because a lot of times there's that stigma behind there's always that stigma behind single parents, and there's always that stigma behind being an absent parent. Y'all know I'm always here bringing the real with the love. I'm still here. I'm still here in Mississippi. But I wanted to make sure I drop the love off for you guys and give you guys some quick tips on how to be the best parents, how to be the best parents that you can be. So I'm going to keep it short because I know that time is valuable, and I have a class that's going to be starting shortly on leveling up your communication. So if you want tips on how to be single parents, awesome single parents, and how to be an awesome absent parent, then this is for you. Or maybe you have someone that you know that's probably struggling with being an absent parent and don't really know how to go back into the child's life. Or maybe you have a single parent that may be struggling, really struggling, just to balance being a single parent. And a lot of times that happens from a past relationship that you may have had with this person. Usually that happens, for one, if you are a person that is or have been in a relationship with someone that you had a child with, and you had a relationship like a long, well, not even long, an intimate relationship, and a child came as was born from that relationship, then a lot of times there can be a lot of stress, there can be a lot of everything, emotions that are coming up. And I just wanted to make sure I share with you guys my thoughts on how to be the best single parents, how to be the best absent parent in general. And I'm going to be talking more about parenting anyway. Y'all already know, this is Unmuting Me Transformational Coaching. I bring the real with the love, and y'all see me in the back. I'm in the country at my sister's house, still in Mississippi. I will be leaving to go back to Denver Monday. So my cutoff for like all visitations and all that is probably Friday, because I'm gonna try to put my mind around getting back into the swing of going back to Denver. So let's get right to it. So one thing I will say is, let's look here. So with single parents, one thing that I wanted to just say, I get you, I hear you, I understand, I lived it, I breathed it, I still live it, and I still breathe it every day with my baby girl. But one thing I will say is that no matter what happened in that relationship, whoever, single mom or single dad, we have to learn how to put the emotions aside for our children. We have to learn how to put the emotion aside for our children. And here's why. Here's why. The reason why we have to put the emotions aside for our children, for one, is that when we tend to keep all these emotions inside of us, we're usually holding on to the past. We're usually holding on to the what should have been or what could have been, all these different things that we wanted in a relationship, or the things that we expected that did not happen in our relationship. Please hear me out, single parents. We have to learn how to put that emotion aside for our children. That does take work. And that's why I come in and when I'm doing my coaching and I'm helping parents, is that I get it. You've been heartbroken, or maybe something tragic happened that you just haven't yet dealt with. But we need to deal with those emotions at hand. And if we are finding finding it difficult to even have a conversation or to be parents, or even if we have a hard time even having a conversation with the other parent, sometimes it's stuff that we're still dealing with that we haven't just let go of. We just haven't let go of. But I'm going to tell you that right now, champion, is that we have to put the emotion aside for our children. And I don't mean to say don't act like the emotion isn't there. What I'm meaning to say is that get the help that you need to get past the emotion, address the emotion, so you can be the best parent that you can be with or without that absent parent in that child's life, because the child still needs validation. Hear me out. I always say this: children need validation. They do not need all of the other stuff that's going on in other people's lives, especially as a parent. But we sometimes allow all of that stuff to get in the way of us being the best parents that we can be. And give the child, and here's another one, give the child an opportunity to know the absent parent. Please give the child an opportunity to know the absent parent. Now, let me tell you this: unless the absent parent is completely unfit and may put the child in danger, if that's not the case, allow that opportunity to happen. Because what's going to happen is that children still get older, and they will either embrace the absent parent, ask you about the absent parent, or they find out on their own anyway. If you want to help the child, please give them an opportunity to establish that relationship with their absent parent. Should that be allowed? Should that be allowed? And if we are not doing that, that means there are some things that is going on that we need to still address that's hindering a relationship from a child to have a relationship with both of their parents. Please hear me out. So one thing I will always say is put the emotions aside, get the help you need to address the emotion, whether it calls you to not love yourself, whether it calls you to, whether you were even in an abusive relationship. If those things are causing you not to do certain things for your child, then we need to address that, and we need to get some help. That's where I come in at. I want to help you. I really want to help you. And if the relationship not just abusive, it just ended, maybe one spouse cheated and somebody else found out, and then there was a lot of drama on the other end of it, and then that's just kind of how the relationship ended. However it ended, if that emotion is still there, champion, get it taken care of. If you do not do it, it's going to consume so much time from you from giving this child what they need. Hear me out. Hear me out. Please do that. And obviously, y'all already know today is Wednesday Wakeness. So I'm always here to wake y'all up because I think it's important that we do address this stuff. I lived it. I was so resentful in my marriage in my previous marriage. I did not even know that I was resentful. And that resentment lasted for years. For years. But I had to make a conscious decision and effort to know that I am not going to allow this to defeat me, nor would I allow my child to be away from her father. And that was a decision that I had to make within myself. I had to make that decision within myself. Now, what goes on, the next part is absent parents. Absent parents, reach out consistently. Reach out consistently. That means whether physically, whether you calling them, whether you FaceTiming them, whether you doing a duo with them, whatever it is, make a conscious effort to reach out to your children. Do not allow whatever is happening in your world to hinder you from reaching out to your children, because they're going to notice that. And you know who notices that? The single parent, the one that actually has the child, notice that you're not doing that. And if you want to prevent that, reach out to them more consistently. I mean, consistently. If you know that you are not able to be there physically in the presence, make your presence known today. Make your presence known today. If you know you haven't, pick up the phone, call your babies. Pick up the phone and call your babies. Please keep it consistent. Please keep it consistent. And another thing, Don't make absent parents. If a child just does not know you or they're not reciprocating the attention that you're reaching out to them, do not make them feel guilty. Do not make them feel guilty. Sometimes we fall into that trap of making the child feel guilty unknowingly, because this is unconsciously done. Unknowingly, we're making the child feel guilty because they're not talking to us. That takes time. Give it some time. Be patient with your child and be patient with yourself, especially if you know that you haven't really been engaged in this child's life. Something to think about. Just be careful what you're saying. If you're noticing that you're saying things like to the other parent that, well, he's not answering the phone, or when you finally get the child on the phone, you're saying these things to them that's making them feel bad and making them not really want to talk to you. Don't do that. And another thing, when you're building a relationship, try not to give all of these high expectations and high hopes as a parent. This is for absent parents. Do not give all those high hopes and high expectations. A lot of times, I notice that with absent parents, sometimes there's a tendency of promising all these different things, and that child remembers that and they expect those things. Watch what you say to your child. The only thing that you need to be doing is building an authentic, loving relationship. An authentic, loving relationship. Please, please, please. Sometimes we get super excited that we haven't talked to our children and they ask mom or dad, when are you going to do this? Are you going to come? Are you going to do that? Always keep it and just say, like, let me talk to the other parent and we'll see. Something like that. So then you don't give that child the expectations of that, because they remember the exact date. They remember the bike you were supposed to buy. They remember the gift that you were supposed to have. All these different things that you're telling the child. And last but not least, give the child more than child support. Give the child more than child support. So if you're on child support, um, they don't see that stuff. They don't see any of that stuff. Give them love. Give them child support. It's just support, just monetary stuff. If you give them the love and authenticity, they will come to appreciate you so much. They will come to appreciate you so much. Give them more than child support. Don't make them feel guilty. And keep the contact consistently if at all possible. I'm actually going to be doing some information on and co-parenting and things like that. So I'm really hoping that we get a chance to connect. I see a couple of you guys already on there. Today is Wednesday Wakeness. I have a class that I'm going to be going to. If you're interested, it's Level Up Your Communication to Better Relationships. This was solely for my single parents out there that's still stuck in their emotions. I love y'all. I really do love y'all. Single parents and absent parents, please make sure that you are checking your emotions first and foremost. If we are still living in the relationship part of our life, we need to get that in check so then we can be there for our children. Whether you're single mom, single dad, mom, absent dad, you're still a parent. You're still a parent, and you are only a parent once you make the conscious effort to be a parent. This is Adaya Cherie. I'm so happy to see you guys. You guys take care and be blessed.